So what's up, everybody? I'm your boy Will.
And I'm Toya.
Welcome to our very first, I guess you can call it podcast episode, the launch of our new podcast, My Best Life with Will and Toya. We've been planning this for a minute, babe. How you feel?
I'm feeling good. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
All right.
Feeling great. A lot of lessons learned, a lot of effort has gone into this. We've been very purposeful and intentional about um, how we wanted to do this and what we want to do about. You know what I'm saying? We try to be our authentic selves at all times and live out of our experiences. And I just think, they probably, well, not probably, definitely, together, our life shared experiences is something that I believe people can glean from. So, what you got to say about that?
I definitely think that this podcast has been a long time coming. We've been discussing launching this podcast soon because we have so many people that call us and we share our experiences and we share what we've learned from our experiences, whether they were wins, whether they were losses, but all of it was lessons learned. So we decided to launch this podcast. We have been talking about it for quite some time, for at least, I want to say a year, maybe about a year or so. And so we just decided that, hey, we're gonna go ahead and jump out there. Better late than never. So I'm excited about the podcast because we're going to share. We want to hear from you. We want to hear your ideas, what you want to hear about us talking about on the podcast. The podcast is going to be, it's not going to be your average podcast, okay? It's
It's going
going
to
to
be
be
interactive.
interactive. It's going to be interviews. We're going to be talking about family. We're going to be talking about faith. We're going to be talking about romance, love, sex. Yes, yes, guys, I said sex. We're going to be talking about
And
sex,
ladies.
and like guys and ladies. That was inclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to be talking about pop culture. What's happening in pop culture? So we're going to be talking about some great things. We want to hear your feedback. We want to see your comments in the comment section. Um, and if you have any topics that you want to talk about, definitely share that with us so that we could jump in and tackle what's being talked about in pop culture, life, family, and anything else that we, may have going on out here in these podcast streets.
That's what's up. So y'all know me, you know what I'm saying? Anything I'm involved with is gonna be some humor involved. We're gonna have fun with it, you know what I'm saying? As my wife said, there's no losses, there's only lessons. So you know what I'm saying, leveraging that for um to get people, you know what I'm saying, to help get people through stuff, to get, over situations, whatever case may be. You know what I'm saying? Wherever phase you are in life, you got a collective, I ain't putting our age out in the streets, but you got experience. You know what I'm saying? We got a resume and experience in overcoming some things, man. And we're still overcoming things. We're still, you know what I'm saying? They got this saying that says, listen, either you coming out of a trial test, you on your way in, or you in one currently. So, like I said, man, tap in to My Best Life podcast with Will and Toya. We're still lining up dates and kind of working out our schedules, on how and how often we're going to be able to do this. But I think it's going to be beneficial to everyone that taps in, that joins. And like I said, we probably be on 30 minutes, an hour, probably about an hour and some change. You know what I'm saying? It'll be realistic, and have some conversations. So, as my wife mentioned, it's all about, you know what I'm saying? It's about life. It's about faith, first of all, for me, and principles that we live by as a, you know what I'm saying, married couple, as, you know what I'm saying, stewards over our family, you know what I'm saying, that God has entrusted us to, with faith comes first for us, and how we navigate that, you know what I'm saying. We can talk about dating because we've been there, we dated, marriage. My wife been reminding me recently that We pulling up on a decade.
Man,
Has it go by fast?
it definitely has gone by fast. Remember last year I thought that we were married 4 years, and he said, "No, we'll be married 6 years next year." I said,
Yeah. So
"Oh,
marriage is part of it. So dating, marriage, family, because you know what I'm saying, if you do things, you've been around for a minute, you know what I'm saying? You OGs in the game. You know what I'm saying? You probably got kids. We done blended families. We done gone through it all. Like we didn't. I'm not saying going through it like it was a bad experience, but we've experienced it all. Blended family. What else? Finance. You know, my wife, bless her heart. And I don't know if she's watching. I hope she sees this on the playback. I gotta repeat this story, and give a quick shout out to my wife. When we got married, a close friend of ours, friends to the family, friends of my wife, said something at our wedding, that I'll never forget. Shout out to Denise. Denise said something that's resonated in me, my spirit, in my soul since she said it, and it's rung true throughout my marriage. That she was like, "You will never, you'll never struggle in this marriage. You'll never struggle. You'll never want for money." And that has been true. We've had tests, we've had trials, but it's been prosperous throughout this experience, and that's credit to my wife and how God has graced her and gifted her in her ability to manage, and more importantly, be a great steward in the area of finance. So, and that's her grace, that's her oil. So, shout out to you on that one, babe.
thank you. I appreciate it."
So it's about finance. It's about, we talked about sex. I mean, that's a part of marriage. You know, I mean, it's gonna get real, man. Because I mean, that's part of life. You however you doing it, whether you in marriage, you're not in marriage, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? It's a real challenge. If you dating, like, we all have our, you know, beliefs, if you will. But it's like, if you're married, then you definitely should be having sex. Like, I don't know why
Say
you
that again for the people in the back. If you're married, you what?
should be having sex.
Why do you think that's a taboo to even talk about? I know a lot of times it's a taboo to talk about for for people of faith. Um, but in general, why do you think that talking about sex and romance in a relationship with a husband and a wife is such a taboo topic to talk about?
We gonna get into that. See, my wife is doing what I always tease her about doing. That's her Oprah Winfrey kicking in already.
Come on here,
She
Oprah.
going
Shout out
straight.
to Oprah.
Shout out over. She going straight in already on the topic is sex. She got
Hey, we're,
triggered.
we're doing what we're
Yeah,
giving them
yeah.
a taste
We
of
gonna
what the
get into it.
podcast
We
is
gonna
going to
get
be
into it.
about.
Just stick around. Yeah, I got an answer for that. I think.
Come on with the answer.
I think people just generally scared. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I think people probably get so used to sneaking and creeping, probably in their. I'm just gonna keep it a buck with you. You know what I'm saying? You know, human beings starting in their teens and 20s and 30s, that you know what I'm saying, you don't learn how to, you never taught how to discuss it, talk about it, engage it the right way. So everybody just, you know what I'm saying, creeping, slipping, and dipping. And you know what I'm saying, you don't know how to engage or the purpose and all this other stuff. Like nobody's had, I mean, even with a lot of people with their children, they're not having real conversations about sex. So again, faith, family, dating, finance, sex, friendship. Friendship. We got to talk about friendship because that's a key element, I believe, in having a successful life. I believe you have to build a village. You have to build a tribe. You know what I'm saying? Life is a team sport. I got my my top three dogs, if you will. My guys that stood with me as my best men in my wedding, that I rely on, I lean on. It's a team sport. It's crazy. It's crazy to me that we grew up our whole lives, at least as men, playing team sports. And then we get to the point, like we become individuals. We don't feel like we need to be a team anymore. So all that's all part of the show. We're going to talk about, like I said, we got 3 segments. The main thing is the main topics: faith, family, finance, sex, dating, all that stuff. We can get into that. The second segment is ask the audience. We're going to lean on you guys for questions, things that you want to talk about, things that y'all want to ask us that we may have a perspective on. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta do this because I know we're on the internet.
Spell that internet.
INNANET, the internet.
Oh, okay.
Blue Ivy's internet.
That's the eclectic way.
So I gotta lay some ground rules because you know what I'm saying. I realize we're on the internet, we on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and there's no guardrails or governance around how people can come into your comment section on either platform. I'm just gonna let y'all know I got access to mute you from the channel and all that other stuff. I just don't play about my wife. So, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can ask questions, but just make sure y'all being respectful. I gotta be the governor. I gotta be myself. So yeah, just be mindful of that. That you know what I'm saying? We're a married couple. I take my responsibility seriously as a husband. I'm gonna protect my queen at all costs. And then the last segment is in these internet streets, like you just described.
Man, there's so much going on in pop culture right now that it's so much to talk about. So I'm excited about that segment because I really want to hear what everybody else has to say about some of these things that are happening in culture right now. So I'm really looking forward to having those segments and seeing everybody in the chat and we just talking about what is happening in good old life.
That's what's up. So we finna break it out. We finna get straight into it since we introduced the show, introduced the segment. I'm gonna show y'all how we're gonna transition. Let's kick it to the main thing. Let's go. Y'all like that? This is the main thing segment. So the main thing, introducing each segment, is like this. You know what I'm saying? The main thing is about faith, family, finance, sex, dating, the whole 9. So whatever the topic is of the day in that area that we're talking about in that area, that's going to be the focus of that segment. And my wife already asked the question, kind of jumped ahead of me a little bit. That
I'm sorry about that.
She went straight in on the sex part.
Hey, we were talking about it.
You trying to tell me something?
Let's talk about it.
You trying to tell me something?
We'll talk about that off.
Okay. I'm just saying because I brought up about 6 to 7 topics before we got to that. And you ain't asked no question. When we got to that one, you had a lot to say. You had a whole.
Because I'm trying to help the people.
Okay.
I'm trying to help the people because the people don't want to talk about it and it needs to be talked about.
I thought you were trying to help me.
That's a part of marriage.
I thought you were trying to help me. So what's the main thing we're going to talk about today? What's the focus in our 7 pillars, if you will? Is that 7? Is it 7? Faith, family, finance, sex, dating, marriage, friends. Yeah, that's 7. We didn't do that on purpose. It's like 7 pillars.
I believe so.
So what's the main thing today that you want to dive into? We jumping straight into sex?
No, we don't.
I'm just saying because
you brought it up, sir.
No, you brought it up.
We can talk about today. Today was actually just supposed to just be us introducing the show, presenting it to everybody so that they can be a part of the discussion and come on in. So we wanted to launch. So today is just kind of a free for all. If you want to talk about sex and family, we can definitely do that. Or we can dial it back a little bit. I know it's Sunday, and this is a family friendly show. But hey, we talk about what you want to talk about now. We're not scared. We're not scared out of here.
So I tell you what. I got one for us. By the way, shout out to my guy Ike in the comments. I don't know what platform you're on. I wish he was on. I don't know why it's not showing the comments over here. Because I want to put your comment up on the screen.
So I'm seeing Ike in Facebook.
He's on Facebook, but he still should have his comment where I can share it over here. I don't see him in the comment. Maybe you skip over to YouTube. By the way, the platforms that we're on YouTube and Facebook. We plan on expanding as we go. So, you know, might be adding Instagram, maybe Twitter, maybe whatever platform we can get on through our host that we'll expand to as we go. No big deal. We're just building right now. So I know what we can focus on today, and I'm gonna share it. I couldn't share the picture, but you know what I'm saying, this past week, you know, we can focus on dating, because guess what? In marriage, you still have to date.
Mm-hmm.
This past week, you know, it was Valentine's Day. Was that Wednesday?
It was.
It didn't make us never mind, because we was like, bro, it's during the week. You know what I'm saying? We got work.
We said we tired.
We was tired.
Boss.
So after dealing with these jobs, we just decided to celebrate last night, and I'll let you set up the date, since you set up the date. So
oh my. So I'll start here. In my defense, I'm a creative, so I love music, I love arts, I love museums, especially museums and history. And so I said, oh, let's do something different. We go to a lot of concerts, we go to a lot of comedy shows, and I said, well, let's go to wait for it, a Mary J. Blige review.
Mary J. Blige.
And so I bought these wonderful tickets from City Winery, and so I thought it would be a great outing for us to have for Valentine's Day. And so we went. And
hold on, I gotta stop you there. Shout out to you first of all, because you know what I'm saying, like, it was a crazy week, crazy work, a lot of stuff going on. We got so many projects going on, life projects, work projects. We got a lot going on. And I got to give you your props, because I don't want that to be overshadowed by, you know what I'm saying, they always say that the thought that counts is bigger than that for me. Long as I'm with my wife, I'm good. I don't care. We gonna find the humor out of whether it could be a total catastrophe. If we go out, if it's whatever happens, as long as I'm with my wife, we good. So I gotta give you your props. Shout out to you.
Shout out to me.
And by the way, this is not all. It's, you know, don't get it twisted. We do stuff year round. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about Valentine's Day. We go to, like my wife said, we go to the movies sometimes, you know, during the week, on the weekend. We travel to go to concerts. We travel to travel. We travel to see family. You know, we're a traveling couple, by the way. If you want to know smart ways, you know, inexpensive ways to travel, we got the plug for you. Anyway, I just wanted to give you props on that, because I don't want what's about to happen, what we about to say, to overshadow. And so we went to the Mary J. Blige tribute concert at the City Winery last night. Shout out to my wife for setting that up. But I want you to say what you got to say, because you know what I'm about. You know, for to be on and cracking.
Well, I will say, I didn't know what to expect. I just was expecting to be cute and show up with my wonderful husband and have some great dinner and have a good time.
We can't skip past hold on. No. We're not doing it. I expect to be cute. Nah. You did the thing. Oh. You did the thing. Okay. We got it.
I'll take it.
Hey.
I'll take it.
Hey. Listen, fellas, pointers, especially y'all single brothers out there. If she ain't keeping your eye, she ain't.
Oh, I kept his eye.
I'm just saying, you know, that thing was stinging.
Okay, we digress.
All right.
So I wasn't sure of what to expect because it's a Mary J. Blige review. So I'm just really going to hear the band. Like I said, I'm a creative. And so for me, a lot of times I'm listening to the band. I'm listening to, and then I'm the child of musicians. So I'm listening to the keyboard, I'm listening to the bass player, I'm listening to the drummer, I'm listening to the production of it all. So I was excited about just hearing a band. Oh, but I wasn't ready for Scary J. Blige. Now, in her defense, I mean, I can't hate on her because this says she's booked and busy and she's been selling out shows. But my husband was so taken aback. He was so taken aback that, man.
Listen, I'm gonna say it like this. So I too am a musician, right? You know what I'm saying? Jazz performance major, UNLV dropout, church musician. Shout out to me. Uh, so I know, singers, musicians in the family, and I got this thing about people singing off key, playing off key. I can't hide my facial expression. I'm telling this story because when my wife put the picture out from date night last night, I was like, you know what I'm saying? I can't, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the pictures like, bruh. Now, also, we wasn't ready for the flash. I didn't know this new iPhone I just got, the flash is gonna be crazy like that. But my face was still stuck from the performance. And so if you see that picture on both of our Facebook pages right now, you probably like, man, was he even having a good time? Yes, I was having a good time. I was with my wife. However, um, it was a mix of Mary J. Blige and light skinned Usher, short light skinned
Oh,
Usher.
I forgot about him.
Right. And,
He saved the show. He saved the show. He saved the show.
yeah, he did.
He
Because if,
saved the show.
well,
Um,
first of all, I mean, the singing, but then you threw me off with that fishnet see-through shirt, bro. Like, I understand you're a performer and all, but come on, bro. It was just, and then like I've never been to the venue before. I've lived, I was raised here. I don't know when they put, City Winery up. Um, but it was basically community seating. Like it was like family reunion, like Thanksgiving, and all these people were sitting right next to you. So, you know what I'm saying? You just get stuck with the people you stuck with, and you got to make the best out of it. It was just like,
well, let me ask you this. It was very interesting. And like I said, date
interesting.
night is important, and so I I'm grateful for that part.
Listen, as
It
long
was
as
a
I'm
lot
with
of
you,
people out, and they were celebrating love because this is on the heels of what was the holiday? Valentine's
Valentine's
Day.
Day.
So it was good to see
I
everyone
don't want to
out.
sound like I was complaining, but it was a lot. It was a lot going on. That's what I'm just saying. It was a lot going on. It
Now
was.
let me ask you this. How important is it in relationships, um, married or if even if you're courting somebody or dating somebody, how important is keeping the dating part of the relationship going? Because sometimes you can get so wrapped up, especially when you're married, you can get so caught up in the business of life, making sure that everything and everyone is taken care of. Let's not add in having careers. So you can get lost in even thinking about dating your spouse, especially when you're married and you live together. And for us, we both work from home. And
Right.
so everything is kind of wrapped up together. So, how important from a male's perspective is keeping the dating life fresh and keeping it going and keeping it alive? How important is that for men, or do men even think about that?
Yeah, we do. I mean, I think it's become a staple in marriage more so in the last few decades. Like with popular dating and marriage counseling shows and stuff like that, and popular shows on TV about marriage and keeping your marriage fresh and stuff like that. It's almost like a cliche now. You got to continue to date your spouse, but I think also the way people kind of address it, you know what I'm saying, how people go about it is a little bit um they make it an event. Like it's not organic. It's not you know what I'm saying? It's not organic. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's not they make it an event. Like you mentioned last night, you know what I'm saying? We don't get dressed up very often. We don't do the dressy date thing a whole lot. We date just in the natural sense of us being ourselves, right? So we going to the movies, we going out to dinner, we going on trips. Like it's not like an event. Like, oh my God, let's go on a let's go on a date. Like, you know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, don't have people thinking we're out here looking homeless. No, we still pull
You know what
ourselves
I'm saying?
together.
First of
We
all,
pull ourselves
we
together
ain't
when
out
we
here
go
looking
out,
homeless.
but to get dressy.
Listen, we put that ish on. So I'm gonna go ahead, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know I'm a step. Listen, you step out, you gonna step out. It don't matter. Like even when we casual, we putting it on. So that's not where I'm going with it. I'm saying making it an event, make it it shouldn't be work. It should be organic in the flow of your natural relationship and you're doing it. If it's like, oh, I gotta go on this date thing or make like it's work. I don't know how to express it, but it's like it's work, it's an event, or it's something we gotta put on it. We go on a date on a Wednesday or Tuesday.
Mhm.
How we do it, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be Valentine's Day. It'd be like a random Tuesday. We'd be like, we feel each other and we'd be like, babe, we need to get out the house. It could be Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Be like, we need to go, quote unquote, touch some grass right now. Like, you know, bring ourselves back to one another in a friendship, intimate, thought, relaxing space because, you know, your job's pulling on you, my job's pulling on me. You know, we got other responsibilities. You know, all that stuff. So yeah, I think you do it out of your friendship. You do it out of your relationship as an organic, um, you know what I'm saying, feature of your relationship, if you will. But don't make it work. Don't make it a task to check the box. That takes the intimacy out of it. I know us men, we don't use that word intimacy a whole lot, but I feel like as you get older, 30 something years old, 40 something years old, you gotta learn to you better learn what that word means.
Intimacy.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not
And
popular.
sometimes it could change. Like it could shape itself into something different depending on what phase you are in your relationship, what phase you are in your marriage. It could take on different shapes. So I definitely agree that intimacy is important. And
I
sometimes it looks different for men, it looks different for women. And just understanding what your spouse needs um, in that regard.
I'll say this, right? Um, dating becomes easy for us, or I believe dating becomes easy for us inside our marriage because we're friends. You know what I'm saying? There's no gaudy expectations. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we gotta go on a date. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not. I know you. I know you. You know what I'm saying? I am in tune with you. So and like for us, you mentioned this the other day. I don't know if you know this, so this might be breaking news on the show. Um, and watch this. It's gonna be a slight correction in front of the world. He said, "I want to go to the Jurassic whatever, the Jurassic thingy." You remember that?
Oh yeah, I love sidebar. I'm a nerd. I love dinosaurs. I've always loved dinosaurs. So anything anything about dinosaurs and science, I love it.
You see how she get
aside
excited
from
right
that,
now? See how
ball
she getting
as well.
excited, y'all?
But I'm a nerd, and
So this is gonna be a slight correction in front of our friends and family on the internet. My wife brings this up the other day and goes, you know what I'm saying? I want to go to the dinosaur
they have a
Jurassic
dinosaur
event,
exhibit,
whatever.
and I'm excited about it.
I know you're excited about it, but you mentioned it and you were like, I know you don't like that kind of stuff, blah, blah, blah. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? I want to be where you at. And so because you love it, I want to be there. Now, that's not with everything that we have our separate things that we enjoy separately, but I want to be there. You know what I'm saying? I want to be present to see you excited for this nerdy birdie event thingy that you're doing at the dinosaur thingy. So yeah, I don't want to be left out of that. I just wanted to say that out loud. Like that's
I wasn't going to drag you. I wasn't going to make you go.
that's how she communicates it. I don't want to drag you. Not dragging me. Listen, y'all see how fine this woman is? She ain't dragging me.
I already dragged the kids. So they had another
She
dinosaur
ain't
exhibit.
She ain't, babe.
Probably about 45 minutes
I'm finna,
of a drive north
as the
of
young
us.
folks say, I'm finna get my rears up.
45 minutes of a drive north of us. They had an outdoor exhibit of dinosaurs, and it was like lifelike dinosaurs. And so I drug him and the kids with me to go. I hid it under the guise of this is for the kids, but it was really for me. It was really for me.
Already. You weren't fooling nobody.
Katie is in the comment. Hey sis. Hey Katie. Hey,
what I was about to say is this. You ain't drugged me nowhere since 2017 when we started dating. You ain't had to twist my arm and force me to go nowhere. I just like being around you. I like hanging out. So let me get my little rears on.
Well, we're almost an hour in. It's almost 4:30. So I definitely want to get to our.
The live say 39 minutes, 14 seconds. I'm the producer on point.
Maybe mine is a little delayed. I was going to move us into our final segment.
No, we ain't finna. We ain't moving. I got you. This lady trying to produce the show. I got you. I'm the pod boss, the pod father. Anyway, so you ready for move on? Okay, I got you. I got you.
I know you can't see the comments, so Katie's in the comments. Wild. We have Ike in the comments.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody in the comments. This is wild.
Shout out to everybody in the comments.
We got to get that. We got to figure that out. But anyway, let's slide to the next segment. Ask the audience. This is how we do it. Let's go. Go ahead and get it going.
So this segment is Ask the Audience, where we'd like to hear back from you. So if you have, we were talking about today, we were just kind of introducing the show to everybody today, but what are some things that you have done to keep the spark alive in your relationship? Whether that was a creative date, maybe it was a creative date night, maybe it was something special you did for your spouse. What are some things that you've done to just keep the romance alive since we're on the heels of Valentine's Day? So what are some things that you have done for your spouse that was very creative, or maybe just some tips that you've done to just help keep things romantic and spicy in your relationship?
Keep it PG-13, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Kids are watching. I just got to put that disclaimer out there. Now, yeah, this is a segment for it, right? Where you ask the audience. Y'all can throw some stuff out there. Now, we expect to, or we can at least read them today. In the future, being able to flash your comments up on the screen. For whatever reason, the platform is not allowing us to do that today. But typically, you can do that with this particular platform. So we got anybody said anything in the comments?
Not just yet. I know there may be also a delay, but I did say for us to mention where we're from. I don't think we mentioned that when we were introducing the show. So if you want to go ahead and.
You go ahead. What side?
Well, I'm originally from Chicago, Chi-Town.
That's what's up.
But my husband was raised here in Georgia. So we are in Georgia. And that's
Shout
where we
out to
are.
the ATL. You know what I'm saying? Wakanda. You know I'm finna rep my. Now I wasn't born here. I gotta clear that up because you know what I'm saying. If the pod blow up, they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, you know what I'm saying? You ain't put it on rep it." I wasn't born here. I was born in Gary, Indiana. Came down here. I was like 8 or 9, between 8 and 10, back and forth. But I do consider myself an ATLian because I was raised here. You know what I'm saying? It's in this red clay mud is in my soul. So shout out to the Southwest Side, ATL, Allen Temple, Delmar Lane, Martin Luther King. And by the way, shout out to my player partner, Killer Mike, for winning 3 Grammys from my old neighborhood. I had to put that out there. But anyway, yeah. And I married a west side of Chicago.
Yeah.
Send me in graduate, proud.
Go Wolverines.
That's right. I don't know what's up with that.
What?
Y'all, like Simeon is like it's like when you graduate, it's like a big deal up there.
Well, yeah, you rep your high school. You would think you would rep your college.
Yeah, that's what I'm
But you
saying.
rep
Like
your
y'all
high
talk
school.
about it like it's y'all college. I'm like, what's the rivalry school?
CVS.
CVS?
Yeah.
CVS a drugstore down here.
CVS, Chicago Vocational High School.
So
we
it's
were Simeon Vocational High School. So it's 2 vocational high schools. And so CVS was our rival.
So is Simeon a vocational type school too? Like
yes.
Career focused, like trade school type school?
Yes.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. And see, I'm learning stuff, like conversations you hadn't happened before.
Simeon was known for like great athletes. So a lot of people from Simeon either went to the NFL or they went to the NBA.
Yeah, I know Derrick Rose went to Simeon, right?
Yeah.
Derrick Rose.
Mm-hmm.
There was a documentary on ESPN 30 for 30. Ben, what was Ben's last name?
I can't remember.
It was a young man who lost his life, went to Simeon. He was a phenomenal athlete. A lot of athletes went to Simeon.
Was it Ben Wilson? I'm not sure.
Yeah, but here's also it's a bunch of athletes from that area. I mean, basketball players from Dwayne Wade. I don't know what school Dwayne went to. Anthony Davis is from Chicago, like a lot of people. And it's the guy that's in the NBA right now, the dark skinned bro. Anyway, shout out to the West Side.
All right, let's talk about when the podcast will air. You want to do Sundays. I'm feeling during the week like a Wednesday or Thursday.
See, here's the challenge with that. And I would love to do it during the week, but I'm not going to use this opportunity to plug the other podcasts I'm doing, but my podcast schedule is already booked and busy. So we got to find a day. I'm going to have to do it on Monday and Wednesday because I'm already on Tuesday and Thursday. So, and Saturday. I mean, we can make it work. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you know.
We should have discussed this off air. So we need to get the time.
Welcome to, what do you always say? Welcome to marriage, people. We talking about family and marriage. Hey, this is how I go in 4K. You getting to experience it. Hey, we just said this is why I woke up with the intentions or trying to do it today, because we've been discussing doing the pod for over a year, and I told my wife, we said I think at the beginning of the year that we would do it around Valentine's Day, right? And I had this thing about my word and keeping my word. My wife doesn't let my dreams and goals, my visions for the family, whatever, fall on deaf ears, and without working our hardest to pull it off. And we talked about this, I want to say a couple years ago. We put legs to it and started planning it this past year. And then I don't want to delay. And I don't care if it's not perfect, but I want to get it out and get it done because, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I feel like we have gems, jewels to add to the offer the world. So that's why we're here. We'll work it out. It's all good. It's how these podcast things go. We're not NBC, CBS, or anything like that. So they can tap in, and as we go, We'll figure it out.
Sounds good. Are we going to do the last segment?
Let's go. Y'all, you know
All
how, you know I've been ready for this. Let's go. So this last segment, everybody, is called Indies Internet Street. Indies, spell like you hear it. Internet.
Spell it for the people in the back.
DEEZ, Internet, INNANET streets. Because y'all know the internet been acting up in 2024. And there's so much funny stuff going on and not so funny stuff going on. We just thought it was a great segment to have because it seemed like 2024 came in and used Boosie Badass as his theme music. Like, what is going on in the internet in 2024? What all did happen? We didn't have Cat Williams.
Monique.
We didn't have Monique.
The DA here in Georgia.
That's what we're gonna talk about. Let's slide. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna introduce the segment and we're gonna come and talk about exactly that because we got this whole thing going on in Atlanta right now. And the district attorney, let's go. In these internet streets, let's go. You're over here grooving. That's in these internet streets. And what do we want to talk about while we giving out free advertisement in the background? Set it up for us, babe.
Well, we have on the heels of the Trump trial here in Georgia, the DA, what's her name?
Willis.
Fani Willis
Willis, as our dad pronounces it.
Fani Willis, excuse me. She has now been called to the witness stand along with her lead prosecutor, along with her father. And so it's getting real ugly out here. And so in these internet streets, this is pop culture right now. So we're talking about it. Do we have a clip that we can show?
Yeah, we got it. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. Because we gotta set it up some more. We gotta set it up some more. Because it's gonna get into some of her sound bites here in a minute. But
the basis of her now being the one who's in the witness stand is Trump is trying to defame her character and try to make it appear like her and her lead prosecutor, I can't think of his name, something Wade.
Yeah.
That they have been misappropriating funds and state funds and having these luxury, lavish trips, and that, they've been misappropriating funds. And so he's trying to really do a smear campaign to make it appear as if she should not be trying his case as the DA. So it's been really interesting because there are sound bites out here, there are clips, and she has really been giving it to the attorneys that have been questioning her. I was actually shocked, to be honest with you, because I thought the judge would have stopped her from it. Let's play a little bit.
Yeah, let's go to it. Let's give you a little bit of clips. Here we go.
I don't need anybody to foot my bills. The only man who's ever foot my bills completely is my daddy. If you're a woman and you go on a date with a man, you better have $200 in your pocket. So if that man acts up, you can go where you want to go. I don't go on many dates, but when you go on a date, you should have cash in your pocket. Men in relationships at the end of physical intimacy, women in relationships when that tough conversation takes place. Nobody gives me anything. I am sure that the source of the money is always the work, sweat, and tears of me.
She said the blood, work, sweat, and tears of me. Shout out to the Washington Post, by the way, for that clip. Shout out to the Washington Post.
Shout out to the Washington Post. Now, I do want to put a disclaimer. We do not talk about anything that's in the press that has not already been talked about. So I just want to put that disclaimer out there. So
listen, this first of all, if you're not familiar with Fani Willis, she's like my wife said, she's the district attorney for the city of Atlanta, right? And you know what I'm saying, the city has, the city long had a reputation for having, Black people in prominent positions since I was a kid, right? Since 80s. We had a black fire chief, police chief, mayor, all that other stuff. Like that's what the city's known for. This is what we do. We in these positions. We in these spots. It goes back deeper for me for Fani because Fani is also she's also presiding over the YSL case, the YSL Young Thug RICO case. Who's anybody familiar? The rapper Young Thug that's based out of here, Atlanta. They, YSL gang RICO case, and she's also overseeing that case. And she got the Trump cases as well. So she's largely responsible for getting that infamous mugshot of a former president for Fulton County. So what my wife is describing is this case is what it is. It's about backlash. It's backlash for, her doing her job. And so they're going into her private and personal life during this trial of hers to try and get them on some type of misappropriation of city or government funds.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that she should be held liable for not disclosing that she was dating her lead prosecutor that she hired?
I think if you listen to the testimony, it's all about, so we got what they're making it about and what it's actually about is two separate things. They're trying to make it about the fact that they had an affair, but it's really about, it's applying personal pressure to her personal life to try to embarrass her and shame her, into withdrawing or falling back, from putting pressure on Trump. That's what it's really about. As if that's a big deal to us. And when I say us, I'm talking about Black people. Like, you got to understand, like, this is probably going to be funny, but it ain't. But come on, man. Like, controversy ain't. We're not a stranger to controversy in our community. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying we out here just like any kind of ways, but everybody knows somebody that got something going on. And I'm not talking about affairs and stuff like that. It's just always something going on in the community. So it's not like she just gonna fall apart because Trump sent a bunch of lawyers at her and talk about her affair that she was having with her. What does he call?
He's the prosecutor that she
lead prosecutor. Like, come on, bro. We stronger than that. Like, we've been through tougher stuff.
So let me ask you this in regards to the comment that she just made about, I don't need. I think the lawyer asked her about, her fallout of her relationship with Wade.
Right.
And
why they broke up.
Yeah, and why they broke up and what happened. And so he was alluding, well, they were trying to say that they broke up because of the case trial. And she said, no.
Yeah.
Since we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it. That's not why we broke up. We broke up because he wants a woman. A woman is only good enough to cook his food, to make a sandwich.
Let me play that because they didn't. Because this is the sound. This is one of the sound bites that came out of here. This whole situation that's funny to me because it's actually more from a kind of, well, not kind of, a serious situation to, how our people gonna give. They're gonna give you some memes when serious stuff going. The internet. That's why it's called In These Internet Streets, because the internet is gonna find a meme, find something funny out of every situation. Let me play the clip because this is one of the sound bites that came out of it. Let's go.
I don't need anybody to foot my bills. The only man who's ever foot my bills completely is my daddy. If you're a woman and you go on a date with a man, you better have $200 in your pocket. So if that man acts up, you can go where you want to go. Don't go on me. Mr. Wade is used to women that, as he told me one time, the only thing a woman can do for him is make him a sandwich. We would have brutal arguments about the fact that I am your equal. I don't need anything from a man. A man is not a plan. A man is a companion. I don't.
Hey, a man, that's the sound bite.
Alarm.
A man is.
Sound the alarm.
Is that on the? Is that's actually on the official record? Ain't it?
Yes, this is. Yeah, oh yeah.
The
Yeah.
DA of Atlanta said a man is not a man. A man is not a plan. He's a companion.
That's what she said.
She putting it on record.
It's on record.
See what's actually making this whole thing, why it's entertaining, because if you live in Atlanta, you raised in Atlanta, you spend any time in Atlanta, this is the most Atlanta thing ever. You got somebody in a prominent position and they doing regular stuff. They having regular conversation with the people like, you ain't the DA of Atlanta. A man is not a man, a plan. A man is a
Now, I do want to
companion.
speak to that. Even though I think she went a little bit too far in giving context when she was answering the question, but I do even though she should not, that shouldn't have been a part of her written statement. But I will say, I do agree. A woman should come to a relationship whole. She should not come to a relationship looking for a man to put some pieces together. Because you always want to choose from strength. You never want to go into something because you're a damsel in distress or because you couldn't take care of yourself. I do also want to say, there's this I'm an independent woman thing going around. For me, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, I don't necessarily call that being an independent woman. You're an adult and you're taking care of yourself.
Right.
Which is what you should be doing. So in some regard, I agree with her statement. You shouldn't necessarily need a person when you're a single woman. You should be able to, especially she's in her mid-50s. You should be able to pay your own bills. You should be able to take care of yourself. You should be self-sufficient. So you should not be needing anybody. So in some regard, I do agree with her statement, but I don't look at that as you being an independent woman. You being an adult. A man should be able to pay his own bills. A man should be able to do that. And then when you come together, now you're bringing your life together and you have to find a way. Well, in their instance, they weren't engaged or anything like that. But essentially, if you're dating for marriage, then when you come together, your two whole people come together. You're not coming together because I'm a woman and I'm a damsel in distress and I need somebody to come save me. Because now you're choosing out of need.
Necessity.
And
right.
You never want to choose out of need. You always want to choose out of strength. I'm aligning myself with this person because I believe that their morals, values, principles align with what I believe. And that can only come from choosing from strength. I'm not choosing you because I need you to pay my bill. I'm not choosing you because I need you to take care of me. I'm
Right.
choosing you because our principles align. Spiritually, naturally, physically. So in some regards, I do agree with the statement that she made.
Listen.
Yeah.
I'm letting you cook because I don't have no problem with the statement at all. This gonna sound. I don't care about none of it. Like I get what she's saying, but it's just, to me, I can't get past the comedy of it all. This is the DA of Atlanta. This is the DA of Atlanta. The top lawyer, the top cop in Atlanta is on the stand talking about she's having the same conversations that we're having on TikTok. That's what's funny to me. She's having the same arguments with her lead attorney that they having on TikTok. All this gender war stuff. This is what's funny. My wife, everything you said was exactly spot on. That's why I let you cook. Now I'm finna have my Kanye moment. What's funny about this is the same conversations and gender war conversations they having on TikTok has crept its way into the Atlanta DA's office. It's the funniest, most serious, but ghetto ratchet thing at the same time. Like, this is the most 2024 thing ever. What are we doing? What are we really talking about? Like, are we serious? This is crazy to me. Like, did we step into an alternative universe where right is wrong, wrong is right, everything is backwards? Like, where are we right now? What is going on? That's the part that I can't get over. Mind blown. That's why it's fascinating to watch. I'm like, imagine any other city in the United States. I can see it going off in Chicago like this. Shout out to Chicago, no shade. I can see it going on because that mayor y'all got up there, buddy, he a trip. But well, New York mayor kind of he a trip too. Like, this is wild to me. The gender war has crept its way into Atlanta City Hall, and we're talking about I don't need a man. And I'm paraphrasing. It's not what she said,
She
but
did say that.
huh?
She said, I don't need a man.
Right. Okay. I'm trying to be courteous. I'm trying to be sensitive to the gender war because I don't want nobody coming for me. Besides, I got mine. Anyway, that's crazy. It's just wild to me. So she says that was one clip where she says a man is not a plan, a man is a companion. I agree with you and everything my wife said. Make sure you're navigating your relationship from a point of strength, not out of necessity, because you know what I'm saying, especially towards the beginning, because relationships are a little bit businessy. So you never lose leverage.
And aside from that, for a woman, it's dangerous
It's
to
absolutely
choose
dangerous.
from need
Absolutely
because you'll
dangerous.
accept. I'll give an example. Let's say you need money for, I don't know, maybe a car broke down. Maybe you don't have your mortgage payment or your rent payment. And this guy that you've been seeing, you would probably never date him because maybe he's just not the type of man you would date.
Right.
Maybe he's a jerk. Maybe he's too arrogant. Maybe he's disrespectful, but he has money, right? A woman who is going to choose out of need would say, I'm going to look over all of that because at least he can pay my bills. But now you've chosen a man from need based off of strength. And in that, now you have to deal with what comes with that. So he can pay your bills, but he might be abusive, disrespectful, dishonorable, no integrity. And so the trade-off is just not comparable.
The juice ain't worth the squeeze.
And so that's why I say, you have to choose from strength. And so in some regards, I do agree with her. You need to be self-sufficient.
My wife gonna make me be serious about this topic. I just trying to get some comic relief out of it. But I agree. Of course, you know what I'm saying, as a father of so many girls, obviously, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't raise them to be on the, independent woman. I don't need a man type of thing, but I raised them to live, or I've taught them, or we've taught them to live life out of their passion, right? Find what they love doing, do what they love, make that your life's work. As you always talk about, you know what I'm saying, you never retire from your life's work. Whatever you're called to do, that's what you're called to do. And make that how you know what I'm saying, take care of your responsibilities and all that other stuff. I think if you're organically doing that, inherently, you're going to be setting boundaries for yourself. You're going to be establishing morals, values, and principles, what we like to call MVPs. And we'll talk about MVPs on some show and how we communicate and teach MVPs to our children and adult children still too. Reinforce MVPs, morals, values, and principles. Yeah, don't compromise, man. Don't put yourself in those positions. But we're not going to act like at the same time it doesn't happen. One, there's men and women out there that, put themselves in positions because of how they condition their life, how they built their lives. They out there and they got to call Mr. Charlie. You know what I'm saying? It's tax. Y'all gonna see that meme. It's tax season.
Not sugar daddy.
It's tax season. Y'all know that meme I'm talking about. It's tax season, and bro, you gonna have to You're gonna make that call. It's tax season.
Man.
You know what meme I'm talking about. You gonna make that call. It's tax season, bro. You know, I gotta get these bills paid. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? It's funny, it's happy, it's real life. People do it. You know what I'm saying? Just don't make that your life, bro. Like if you doing that year after year after year, you gotta look in the mirror and be like, all right, something gotta change. Be better people.
I agree.
But this is the DA.
It's the DA, but
Let's talk about the other thing she said. She out here doing brand placement on the witness stand. When the lady asked Fannie about her wine drinking, Fannie said she don't drink wine. She drank Grey Goose.
dear sweet Fannie.
I almost fell out my chair.
But maybe she didn't want to say she liked vodka. I don't know. She wanted to say the brand.
That's what I'm saying. Like you the DA of Atlanta. Like, come on. Like I said, if you from here, you live here, you raise it. This is the most Atlanta thing ever. You know what I'm saying? One thing you're gonna get when you come here, you know what I'm saying? Black people gonna be authentically themselves no matter what.
Sometimes it's a bit too much, though. Sometimes it's a bit too much. I get being
That's because you're
yourself.
not from here.
No, I'm saying sometimes it's too much for me.
Yeah.
And I'm a woman of color.
Yeah.
Listen, I digress. I'm sorry. I was about to go into customer service. I digress.
No.
Sometimes you come on now. You have to know when.
She's talking about
What
going
song
to
was
customer
that?
service.
Who sang that song? You gotta know when to hold.
Nah, my wife be like, hey, you know the customer service. Keith Lee even came here and said it. Keith Lee came to Atlanta and said, y'all customer service trash. You can tell us. Like, you know, went into a whole song.
Yeah.
Keith Lee came here when he did his food review here in Atlanta. Keith Lee put Atlanta on blast. We already knew the customer service here is trash. It is what it is. I'm just saying, listen, this is first of all, y'all gotta slack up on my city. Because here's the thing. This is what I always say about Atlanta. You have to love the whole continuum of us when you're in the city. You gotta love the, you know what I'm saying? That's the expectation. If you're gonna have a true Wakanda, you gotta understand that you're gonna have some people that's about 2 decisions away from making the police blotter, and you're gonna have the most bougie of the bougie and everything in between. And you gotta embrace it all.
Yeah.
I feel like we deserve the right to jack some stuff up. Like others have over the course of history. Like even with Keith Lee coming to Atlanta and talking about the restaurant situation and restaurants in Atlanta. Well, I hate to take it there, but a lot of these new restaurants and businesses, they're getting their first cracks at being restaurants and businesses. They haven't had the experience in designing good, you know what I'm saying, developing good business practices, you know what I'm saying, industry best standards and so on and so forth. And so if it's our first crack at it.
Well, sometimes it's not the product, it's the service.
Well, you know what we always say. What does our guy on The Prophet always talk about? People, process, products, right? So, you know what I'm saying? Put that in your toolbox if you're a business owner. You got to have the right people in place. You know what I'm saying? You got to have great processes and you got to have a great product. That's business 101. The other part is, I add to that one, paperwork. And by the way, this is one I just learned the last 3 months. You can have an average, great processes allow you to hire average people and have them perform above average. So anyway, I thought that was funny. I'm going to be covering the trial. I'm following the trial because it's comic relief. It's entertaining. Some of the questioning is dumb, but nonetheless. So we're going to get ready to wrap this thing up. Babe, how was the first My Best Life episode?
I'm excited. I'm excited about having some great conversations, having some hard conversations, and just talking like family talk, you know.
Yeah, by the way, we're gonna
you and I sometimes on the show, you and I may not agree on certain topics, which is great.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, we don't always agree
we
in
don't have
real
to
life.
always agree to have great conversation. So we're excited. We're excited. We're hoping that everybody will tune in. As of right now, see, I want to do Mondays or Tuesdays. This brother want to do Sundays.
Man, we're gonna have
And
to do
Sundays is
anything
my
Monday or
devotion.
Wednesday. I do a
Saying.
podcast on Tuesday
I'm
and
just
Thursday
saying,
already.
he
And
knows this. I'm just saying.
I'll be drained after Tuesday and Thursday podcast. I did a podcast this morning. So actually, I'm committed. I got a Sunday podcast. So I'm committing to do two on Sundays. I'm just saying.
Well,
We'll work it out. Y'all just stay tuned. We're gonna work it out. We're gonna see how it go. I wanted to say something else before we got out of here. Oh, we're also going to have friends and we're gonna have guests on the show and stuff like that. So we're able to send links out and have people tap in and bring in different perspectives and all that. So just start a whole conversation. So like I said, y'all tap in. We're going to be announcing dates. Just keep us locked. Turn your alerts on for the channel on Facebook, and you'll know when we on all that good stuff. And then come hang out with us. Parting shots, Wade.
I'm sorry.
Parting shots, like parting shots. We're
Parting
partying.
shots?
Yeah, we're parting shots. You say what you got to say as we before we get out.
Oh, I think I've said everything.
I love
that
you.
I've done.
That's
I
gonna be
love
my
you
parting
too.
shot. Thank you. My life is enriched by your presence. I want to say that in front of the world. Best decision I ever made. I haven't regretted not one day.
No.
We've had some challenges. Just life stuff. So, but you've been a rock, solid, steady. Y'all better get y'all one of these
Hey, it's only one, bro.
West Siders. You know
It's
what I'm
only
saying?
one,
You better
brother.
get you a Chicago. I'm telling you, you
It's
better
only
get one that's
one.
built for the fight.
It's only one. Everybody can't have a Toya.
I'm saying, you better get. Listen, you
The
better
Lord
get you a
loves you,
Chicago
son.
one.
The Lord loves you, son.
I know.
Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. We could carry on and carry on. Don't forget, all things are working for your good.
There you go.
We'll see
That's
you
a
on the
part
next
shot
podcast.
right there. All things are working for your good. So we're gonna see y'all next time. Till next time, this is My Best Life podcast with Will Toya. We out of here. Peace.